Hey guys, I'm back after a 4-year-long hiatus, but at least I wasn't gone as long as I was during the last hiatus, which was 10 years, so I am improving in that regard. But today I will be reviewing the Spider-Man PS5 bundle, so let's get to the review. I hope you guys like my new Star Wars background, by the way. So right here on the cover we have Peter's Spider-Man and Miles' Spider-Man. Peter has the Venom symbiote starting to take over his arm here. He's even shooting a symbiote web. And Miles has his bioelectricity, but curiously, his bioelectricity is now blue. And I find that odd because in Miles Morales, his bioelectricity is yellow, not blue. So I wonder why they made a change there. And here we have the Spider-Man PS5 and the Spider-Man PS5 controller, but we'll get to those later. Up here it says it supports 8K, 4K at 120 Hz, and HDR. And of course it is a limited edition. On this side of the box, again, we have the Spider-Man PS5 and the controller, but we also have the Spider-Man 2 game, and it lists the contents of the box, but we'll get to those when we open it. The only thing we won't get to is Astro's Playroom because it is a pre-installed game on the hard drive of the console. On this side of the box, it is mostly black, so I'm assuming that the Venom symbiote has completely consumed this side. We have the Spider-Man emblem here, and down here it says that the console has a storage capacity of 825 gigabytes, but you have to keep in mind that when you fire up your console, the only usable space you will have is around 667 gigabytes. Up here, obviously, it says Sony and PS5. And now we have come to my favorite part of this box, which is this fight between Peter, Miles, and Venom. And Miles is about to Venom punch Venom with a sneak attack, so I really love that there. This is just a fantastic image. I really want to get a poster of this and put it up on my wall. And if you want this in steelbook form, they actually made one with the collector's edition. And if you want a link for that, I will be leaving it in the description below. And down here it says this game is going to be 98 gigabytes, so this is going to be a very large game, guys. And up here on top of the box we have a handle so we can hold the box. We have the Sony logo, the Spider-Man 2 logo, the PS5 logo, and the Sony PlayStation controller logo. Whatever you call this logo. For the life of me, guys, I could not get this outer box off of the other box. I don't know why, it's just stuck. The box even started to rip a little bit, just trying to get it off, and I'm trying to preserve this box because I really like it. So I'm just gonna have to open it up like this. Okay, so one of the first things you get coming out of the box is the controller, the power adapter for the console, the quick start guide, the safety guide, the HDMI cord, and the base. And I forgot to show you this, guys, but it also comes with the charging adapter for the controller. And we have finally gotten to the console itself. And at the bottom of the box you have the PS5 digital code. And here is the back of it, and it can't be redeemed until October 20th, and I want to thank Sony for covering up my code there so I don't have to do it. A word to the wise, guys: if you are trying to unbox this, take this other box off first. The only reason why I left mine on is because it was stuck. It turns out the box is warped here and it started ripping my box a bit. And yeah, it just makes it a lot harder to get all the stuff out with this other box on top of it. So I don't recommend doing it the way I did it. Okay, so now I'm going to tell you guys how to attach the base to the console. First, you twist it until it locks in place with a snap. Then you remove the screw cap from the bottom of the console here. Then you place the screw cap here in the bottom of the base. Then you remove the screw here and screw it into the console with your fingers or fingernail. For the next part of this video, I'm going to be using my assistant Susan, but don't tell her this though, she's really lazy. And there it is, guys, the Sony PS5 Spider-Man edition. And I just want to say, I really love this side of the console. It's just the design is excellent. I love that the Spider-Man symbol is in the corner here, and it is, well, you know, cornered. It's trying to hide from the Venom, but the Venom will soon, you know, overtake it and overwhelm it. And it's probably the most excellent design that I've ever seen for a console. And of course it has the PlayStation logo up there in the corner, and all the consoles obviously have the PlayStation logo, but curiously enough, it does not say PS5 anywhere. My PS2, my PS3, and my PS4 all have the console's name on the console, but curiously, this one does not. Here is the front, obviously, and I just love the glossiness of the middle part here. I know this got some backlash for people saying it looked like the Tower of Sauron from Lord of the Rings, but yeah, I kind of maybe thought so too. I didn't really like this design at first, but it began to, you know, grow on me, and I just began to appreciate how sleek and, you know, futuristic it looks. Here we have our disc slot so we can put our discs. Here is our USB port, and we have our eject button and power button. Here on this side, I wish they put more effort into it besides, you know, giving it the little spider symbol here. I wish they just gave it a big, giant spider symbol, maybe the Venom spider symbol that, you know, could have stretched from here all the way to the bottom. I just think that would have looked amazing. And we have the vents on the back so the console doesn't overheat. We have two USB ports here, which is curious because usually the USB ports are on the front. And if we want to connect this to an internet using a wired connection instead of Wi-Fi, we can do that as well with this port. We have our HDMI port here, and this port is so we can, you know, plug it into the wall and power the unit, obviously. Now I would like to give you guys a 360 look at the console. Thanks, Susan. And last, but certainly not least, guys, we have the Spider-Man PS5 controller here. I just love that it matches the console and that the buttons are black on this side and the buttons are white and clear on that side. I just like that contrast between this side and that side, and the Spider-Man symbol in the middle. That is just a sleek controller, guys. Now here's a comparison between the PS5 controller and the PS4 controller, and notice that the PS5 controller is slightly larger. And here's a comparison between the PS5 controller and the PS3 controller. And just like how the PS5 controller is bigger than the PS4 controller, it's also bigger than the PS3 controller. But I will not be comparing this to the PS2 controller, since the PS2 controller is virtually identical to the PS3 controller. And now I would like to do a size comparison between the PS5 and the PS4. And this is the standard PS4, not the PS4 Pro. And I also want to do a size comparison between the PS5 and the PS3 Slim. And now, just for the sake of things, I want to do a size comparison between the PS5 and the PS2 Slim. And as you can see, compared to the PS2 Slim, the PS5 is an absolute monster. Okay guys, so I know this bundle is hard to find and the components are hard to find as well. The components being the Spider-Man covers and the Spider-Man controller. If you didn't know, you can buy those separately. But if you can find these things, here are your options. Okay, so if you don't already have a PS5, I recommend that you get the bundle. Because if you're planning on getting the console, that's 500, and if you're planning on getting the game, that's 70 bucks there. And the bundle is only $30 more at 600 bucks. And this is without tax, by the way. So all you have to do is just bring an extra 30 bucks and it's yours. So if you really want it, just go ahead and do that. And I do not recommend, if you don't already have a PS5, to get all the components separately, because it adds up to $715 to get everything separately. Obviously the console's 500, the covers are 65, the controller's 80, and the game is 70 if you didn't know. Digital or physical, doesn't matter, it's 70. And there is a perk to doing it this way so that you don't have to spend all your money at once. You can spend it separately, maybe buy one thing one day and then buy another thing the next week. But I do really recommend that if you don't already have a PS5 that you truly want this, that you get the bundle. But guys, if you already have a PS5, I do recommend that you just get these things separately, because the cover, the controller, and the game altogether, that's 215 bucks. So that's only an extra 215 versus paying an extra 600 bucks for it. So I just recommend that you go that way. And if you can't find these things at any store or online, just remember you can always get these things on eBay later on, probably at, an upcharge, but eventually it should go down when the PS6 comes out. So just keep that in mind, that you can always get that on eBay. So that is it, guys, for my Spider-Man PS5 review. I hope you enjoyed watching this. I hope it was informative enough for you guys so you can decide if you're gonna buy it or not, or buy the components separately. This was actually my first PS5, which is why I got this bundle. And if you wanted to buy anything that you saw in this video, I will be leaving links in the description below. And as always, guys, this is JRS Reviews, signing off. And I also wanted to mention, guys, that I have been playing PS5 games for my gaming channel, and it is called Gameatude. I will also be leaving a link for that in the description below. Man, there are going to be a lot of links in this description, guys. And I will also be playing Marvel's Spider-Man 2 when it comes out on October 20th, so stay tuned for that. And I like to, sign these videos off with a catchphrase, so I'll use this. It's web swinging time. Or is it web slinging time? Whichever one works.